Hi guys, Richard here. So, do you remember in vlog number 2, me saying that driving trains was boring? Yes, it is fun to drive trains, but it can also be a very boring and repetitive job. So I can honestly say since we last spoke, driving trains has been anything but boring. In the last couple of weeks, I have made an emergency stop approaching London Bridge Station. I used all my sick day, so I phoned in tired. More about that in a minute. I cancelled a train because the cab was flooded, and I reported someone climbing up a signal post. Welcome to vlog number 4, too wet and tired to play trains. So yeah, since we last spoke, it's been a rather eventful couple of weeks. As many of you guys know, I got married about 2 weeks ago now to my lovely wife, Daniela. Some of you may recognise her. She's featured, I think it's fair to say, rather nervously in a few of my other videos. I'll post some links in the description below if you want to check those out. I'll just mention this quickly. We did have an element of railway at our wedding. It was completely unplanned. We didn't plan on having anything railway at the wedding. But apparently you have to give all the table names of the guests sit, so you have to give them all a name. Some people choose rock stars, love songs, favourite movies, all stuff like that. Me and Danny couldn't come up with absolutely anything, so we left it to our wedding planner to decide, and she done the names of all the stations on the Hastings line, which was absolutely brilliant. Wouldn't have thought of that, and it's sort of little bit of element of railway snuck in sneakily without Danny knowing, so that was absolutely brilliant. So back onto railways. When I first started doing these vlogs, I wanted to talk about my day-to-day life as a train driver and what had gone on. But since starting these vlogs, sort of absolutely nothing's really happened worth talking about. Until now, until this week, everything just seems to have happened all in one go, and I've got quite a lot to talk about in this vlog. So, where should we start? Now, many of you may have seen a poster doing the rounds on Facebook. It says something along the lines of, I used all my sick days, so I called in dead. As great as that sounds, obviously you can't do it, but I did do something, I'd say similar, but sort of in the same sort of ballpark. I called in tired. That's right, I called in to work. I said, I can't come in today, I'm tired. I had what we call a fatigue day. Basically, my neighbours the other night were going absolutely mad at each other. They were doing what married couples do after 20 years when the husband refuses to put the bins out, having a full-blown row. Lucky Danny doesn't watch these videos, actually. Doors slamming, absolutely everything. So I didn't get any sleep. It ended up with the police being called at stupid o'clock in the morning, so I didn't get a wink of sleep that night. There was no way I was waking up at 4 o'clock and going in to drive passenger trains with thousands of people on them. So I phoned up work, told them I was too tired, took what they call a fatigue day. We're quite lucky on the railway that we have reporting procedures for such thing. If you're feeling tired, you're encouraged to speak up, because even with modern day safety systems, TPWS, AWS, you're still at the front of a train. You're still in charge of up to 1,500 people on your train, plus the safety of people on the track, people on stations and everything else. So if you're feeling tired, if you're not up for driving a train, you're encouraged to come forward, because I mean there is still a possibility you could fall asleep driving. There's still a possibility that there could be an incident, like I say, despite the modern safety technology. Then again, it's not something you necessarily do lightly. You don't want to be phoning in once a week, once a month, or once a year saying you're fatigued. If you do it too often, then they're going to start asking questions about whether you're suitable for the job or not. So it's something that, although the facility's there, use it wisely. If you're constantly fatigued, then maybe you're not in the right role for being a train driver. It's something that comes from the airline industry, the whole fatigue day thing, and the railway takes a lot on board from the airline industry. So yeah, we're really lucky that we have that facility. So that was the first thing that happened in my rather eventful week. So the very next day, I've come into work feeling very well rested, of course, and I was scheduled to drive the 7:03 service from Hastings to Charing Cross. So I booked on at 6:47. Watch my last video to find out why it was 6:47 and not 6:50 or 6:45. And on arriving at the train on the platform, I opened the cab door only to find a huge puddle on the cab floor. There was water dripping down the inside of the windscreen and water dripping right above the driver's seat. Needless to say, it was a typical British summer's day. It was absolutely tipping it down at the time. I phoned up my control and I basically told them, this might cause a little bit of controversy now, so I'm going to sort of leave this open to discussion in the comment section. I basically told them that I wasn't prepared to drive the train like that. From a passenger's point of view, passengers see that you're not taking the train, you're cancelling the train. You know, just get on and drive it. You're causing a huge amount of inconvenience. But what people don't realise is that the driving cab, that is my office, that is my working environment, that's where I've got to sit all the way to London. I'm sure most people in their right mind wouldn't sit in an office with water dripping in their head, or wouldn't sit in an office with a flooded floor. So I phoned my control and told them I wasn't willing to take the train, which ultimately and regretfully resulted in the cancellation of the service. So I'm going to leave that up to discussion in the comment section. Would you have taken the train, or would you like me have said, no way Jose, not in those conditions? I will add, I didn't just go back upstairs and drink tea and sit there doing nothing for the remainder of my shift. I did have to shunt the train round and then work it. I think I worked it to Tunbridge Wells to form its backward journey. So I didn't just sit around doing nothing. I did actually have to do work. I didn't do it to get out of work. But yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Do you think that as the driver I should have just got on and taken the train, or do you think that I'm within my rights and quite right to say, you know, I'm not sitting there with water dripping on my head? Yeah. So yeah, discuss in the comment section. So yeah, an eventful couple of weeks, as you can see there. I just want to talk about the other two incidents that I had a bit briefly. I was approaching London Bridge on the London Bridge corridor, and I was coming towards a place called Blue Anchor Junction. You may know it. You're sort of on a viaduct. There's a big power station on the left-hand side by Millwall Football Club, if you're a Millwall fan. And as I was heading in towards London, the train coming in the opposite direction had stopped and had its hazard lights flashing. That's both headlights on the front of the train flashing. And basically, to the driver of an approaching train, that being me, that means stop. That means danger ahead, stop. So it's the first time in 5 years of driving, 5 years of mainline driving, that I've ever had hazard lights on and ever had to stop the train because of hazard lights being on. So I stopped the train in accordance with the rule book, contacted the signalman, and basically the signalman informed me that the driver of the train coming towards me had one of the green emergency door release handles had been pulled. So he'd stopped his train and put his hazard lights on. He didn't know if anyone had fallen from the train, if anything untoward had happened. So that's why he put his hazard lights on, to stop all the other trains in the area. He could have used the red button on the radio, but obviously didn't feel it fit to do so. In this case, the red button on the radio would also stop all the trains in the area by sending out an emergency stop message to all the trains. But yeah, he felt fit to put his hazard lights on. Luckily, I'm pleased to say there was nothing untoward. I don't even think that the green handle was pulled in there. I think it was a fault on the unit that caused it. So yeah, last incident that I was involved in. I'm doing quite well actually, because I haven't edited this clip for quite a while. This is sort of a continuation, so that's good for me, because I normally have to keep editing. Gibberish, I might edit that out. Lastly, approaching Dunton Green Station just before 7 doing 90 miles an hour, and someone had decided to climb up to the top of the signal, and they were standing in the maintenance cage at the top of the signal. Probably a really great place actually for photographing and videoing trains, but I'm not sure that's what they were doing there. I'm not quite sure exactly what they were doing, but they certainly weren't sitting there photographing and videoing trains. So yeah, I had to just contact the signaller, report that to the signalman, what had happened. Then he cautioned the approaching trains just to make sure, again, nothing's untoward. Everything about the railway, as you'll discover from these vlogs, is about safety. So yeah, my week, just like buses, nothing happens for ages, then you get three, well in my case, 4 things happen all at once. If this vlog seems a little bit rushed, if I seem like I'm speaking a bit fast, it's because it's 1 to 2 in the morning. And I'm off on holiday again tomorrow. Me and Danny are off for 4 weeks in a little village called Mira in Portugal. The great news is we're driving down, so we're getting on the ferry from Dover tomorrow, and what I plan on doing is vlogging the whole journey. So hopefully en route we're going to see some French trains, we're going to see some German, we're not going nowhere near Germany, we're going to see some Spanish rolling stock and lots of Portuguese rolling stock when we're there. Portugal using the Iberian loading gauge, of course. We've got an overnight stop in Spain. The hotel just happens to be opposite a train station. It totally wasn't planned. It just happens to be opposite a train station. Yeah, so I'm going to be releasing a special vlog in a couple of weeks, just with our journey down to Portugal, sort of hoping we see some TGVs on the way down, maybe some French locos and some Spanish stock and everything else. I'm going to put all that into a vlog and release a special European adventure holiday vlog. But for the normal vlogs, I will be vlogging whilst I'm in Portugal, whilst I'm out in the sun. I'm taking my camera, I'm even taking my computer with me so I can edit and upload the vlogs, but I will be releasing another vlog in around about 2 weeks' time. And at the moment, I think that I'm going to talk about drugs and alcohol in that one, which will be quite suitable for when I'm on holiday, because alcohol will probably come into my holiday plans quite a lot, if I'm being honest. So yeah, thank you for watching this vlog, guys. If you have enjoyed this vlog, then please do click that like button and subscribe to Dadrail. Also, if you know anyone that would love this vlog, then please share it on social media, share it with your friends, tell your friends about it, and try and get the word out there a bit more about these vlogs. I really enjoy making them, and it's really good to see the viewer numbers, which have been quite good at the moment, but I'd love to get more people watching these. So if you do enjoy it and you think your friends, family would enjoy it, then please do share it on social media and get the word out there. So thank you for watching once again, guys. If you do have any questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below and I will answer those in the next vlog. I didn't answer any questions in this one, but I will get back to answering your questions in the next vlog. Social media channels on the screen just there. And as always, guys, remember, create, share and inspire. Thanks for watching.